Unite or die. By now, war seemed almost certain. You could practically smell the gunpowder in the air. The colonies knew very well that Britain could crush them one by one, but if they joined together, maybe they would have a chance. It was unite or die. The call went out. Delegates from all the colonies were invited to Philadelphia for the First Continental Congress. Delegates from Massachusetts, including John Adams, who would later become the second president of the United States, set off in a large coach drawn by 4 horses, like that. As they passed through New Haven, Connecticut, Adams wrote, "All the bells in town were set to ringing, and the people, men, women, and children, were crowding at the doors and windows." On September 5th, 1774, 56 delegates met in Philadelphia. Only Georgia didn't send delegates. Georgia, the colony farthest from Massachusetts, was not yet ready to throw off British rule. Had the moment come to fight for independence? Many of the delegates were sure it had, but others still hoped for peace with Britain. Nonetheless, all of them were angry at the way Massachusetts had been treated. The Continental Congress voted to condemn the intolerable acts and passed a Bill of Rights, listing the freedoms that all Americans had a right to enjoy. And the Congress agreed on a new boycott of British goods. This boycott was called the Association. No British goods would be purchased or even used, and no more slaves would be imported into the United States. How could the boycott be enforced? Committees of inspection would be set up in each colony. People caught violating the boycott would be visited by the Sons of Liberty and their pots of hot tar. Delegates who hoped for peace drew up a petition to King George asking him to protect the rights of his American subjects. Maybe war with the mother country could still be avoided. But Patrick Henry spoke out boldly in favor of independence. "The distinctions," he cried, "between Virginians, Pennsylvanians, New Yorkers, and New Englanders are no more. I am not a Virginian, but an American." The First Continental Congress was held in Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia. It was owned by the city's carpenters, who were proud to be the hosts of this historic meeting. Liberty or death? Patrick Henry was a delegate from Virginia and a friend of George Washington. He believed that Americans should fight for their independence. "Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery?" he asked in a famous speech. "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." During the First Continental Congress, John Adams was often invited to elegant meals at the homes of important Philadelphians. He described one feast: turtle and every other thing, flummery, jellies, sweetmeats of 20 sorts, trifles, whipped syllabubs, floating islands, fools, etc., and then a desert of, I think that's dessert, and then a dessert of fruits, raisins, almonds, pears, peaches, wines, most excellent and admirable. Wow, I guess that's them over there. There's some of this stuff I don't even know what it is. Whipped syllabubs, floating islands, fools. Fancy stuff.